United Healthcare, I didn't post it, but I did a bunch of research and basically they did confirm they're going through a DOJ probe. So like that's a real thing that's been confirmed by them, which is not great news. And for the most part, with that coming into play, that kind of changes the scope of their landings and what the expectations will actually be versus what Wall Street's expecting. Because if you guys aren't aware, a DOJ probe is kind of a death sentence in terms of having a company that will be profitable at some point in the future. So with United Healthcare, I'm expecting a big sell-off to some probably whale levels of support, and then we'll probably see a rebound, or if they get completely shut down because this DOJ probe becomes a lot uglier than any of us could even wrap our heads around, and they may have some serious problems headed down the pipeline for them as well. So that I'm not. I think with UNH, I'm expecting a nice little sell-off probably.
Okay.
I don't see it really rebounding. With before the probe, I saw maybe a rebound just because like it's healthcare at the end of the day. And yeah, they're shady, but what health point me a healthcare company that isn't shady and I will show you a woman who's never cheated. So it's kind of that theory. They all kind of have their caveats and their pivots. The healthcare industry is messy. People are getting a little more aware as to their dirty practices, thanks to United Healthcare. Unfortunately, they're kind of like the rocket that is propelling a lot of these issues in a sense. Um, so yeah, I'm definitely not a huge fan of UNH right now. I am on the short side, but in terms of their upward mobility, I think a person without legs has more upward mobility than they do right now.
Okay. Yeah, I would say Stacks is showing completely different, but I do know that DOJ probe news just came out Friday, wasn't it? It was very,
Yep,
very
and then
recent.
they didn't confirm it until like damn near end of market. That's why
Okay.
I'm mixed on it
That's why.
because I had looked at stacks and I was like, okay, well this is overly bullish for like literally having the DOJ just go in and not it's because it's not like a competition thing for this probe. The probe is like they're billing people incorrectly for like billions of dollars. So like that's part of their revenue like bottom line revenue. So it's kind of like do you expect good results when those results could be potentially wiped out if this probe goes through or if their discovery ends up uncovering what they're hoping to find? Because if it does, then again, that's going to just draw up a whole line of issues for them because that the thing they're getting probed about affects their bottom line, which is the only thing people care about for earnings at the end of the day.
All right. Yeah, I mean, if this didn't come out, I definitely would be definitely pushing it more in the bullish side of things, just because that's what Stack's saying. My question is this more fear than fear versus greed? Definitely in a very fearful stage for this name at this point. And so part of me says we should be looking to the upside for that, but you are correct with the DOJ probe. There's still too many question marks around that at this point. Are the lawyers going to be able to figure something out to get them out of it, or is this really a death sentence for the company overall? So one of those things where, I mean, we could even see an earnings pop and then a sell off afterwards, right?
Yeah.
I think that could be very possible. So maybe an earnings pop and overnight, and then we could probably just see big money be taking their profits off the table, and it could come back down toward the lower end. But higher end, I would probably say that 300 is a really good pivot for that. And then for our selling climax, we could definitely very easily see down toward 257 if this DOJ probe turns out to be affecting them quite a bit. So, but like you said, oh my God, healthcare taking advantage of people and not doing things correctly. Like it's not exactly huge, or it's not new news for anybody that's that lives in America. This is kind of expected, but we'll just see if there ends up being any sort of down or repercussions due to this DOJ probe. So, all right.